HTV-X holding steady, minutes away from reaching its final destination. And an even closer view of the new cargo vehicle. The HTV-X made of two major components, a pressurized module and a service module. The service module contains the propulsion and guidance, navigation, control, communications, and power systems. 26 feet long, 14.5 feet wide, about to join the resupply chain at the International Space Station. And framed against the limb of the Earth, a good view of the HTV-X in close proximity to the International Space Station. HTV-X.
Station on 2 for HTV-X. Power 1.110, step 3.2. Crew is ready for HTV-X approach to capture point.
Copy all. Stand by. Station Houston on 2 for HTV-X. HTV-X is ready to proceed to the capture point. Expect approach to resume shortly.
We're handing over between satellites.
Station Houston on 2 for HTV-X. HTV-X is ready to proceed to the capture point. Expect approach to resume shortly.
Station copies, ready to proceed to capture point, expecting approach to resume shortly.
So with that, Aki Hoshide informing Zena Cardman that the vehicle is ready to resume the final leg of its 3.5 day journey to its capture point, just about 10 meters away from the International Space Station. And the approach command has now been sent. HTV-X and space station flying just off the west coast of the United States.
Station Houston on 2 for HTV-X. HTV-X has begun approach from 30 meters. Monitor per step 7 and 1.102.
Station copies, resuming the approach and monitoring per step 7 of 1.102.
The actual capture phase involves Kimiya Yui operating the station's robotic arm from the cupola, backed up by NASA's Xena Cardman. The end effector will move over the grapple pin. It will actually grapple HTV-X, but the snares then will have to close, the carriage retracted, and that will mark the official capture time that we'll provide for you as soon as we have that data. HTV-X closing in at a very glacial pace, some 28 meters away. "27 meters away."
Station on 2 for Block Bravo. Lights have converged on the center of the circle, and circle has converged on the center of the corridor.
Copy. Good report. Thanks.
This view now from the end effector camera on the station's Canadarm2 robotic arm. 25 meters separating HTV-X from the arm. 23 meters now separating HTV-X from the International Space Station. Just passing south of Baja, California, moving from northwest to southeast. This is Mission Control Houston. Everything continuing to go very well as HTV-X is about to close to within 20 meters of the International Space Station. You can see the Canadarm2 extended, ready to move in under the command of Kimiya Yui, operating from a workstation in the cupola, backed up by NASA's Zena Cardman. That arm will be set in motion once HTV-X arrives at about the 10-meter mark. HTV-X continues its methodical approach towards the end effector of the station's robotic arm. Now just 17 meters separating HTV-X from the capture point. Once HTV-X has been grappled, Kimiya Yui and Zena Cardman will hand over the robotic chores to the robotics officer here in Mission Control in Houston, who will spend the next several hours maneuvering HTV-X toward the Earth-facing port of the Harmony module for its installation into the common berthing mechanism on that nadir side of Harmony, where HTV-X will then be bolted into place. The crew will not be opening the hatch to HTV-X until tomorrow morning to begin the process of unloading the start of the cargo operations, some 4.5 tons of supplies and experiments arriving at the International Space Station. HTV-X and the station flying from northwest to southeast over the Pacific Ocean, just off the coast of South America. Now just 14 meters separating the two vehicles. We're about 5 minutes away from arriving at the capture point. One final check of HTV-X's systems before the approval is given for Kimiya Yui to begin extending the Canadarm2 toward the grapple fixture. "13 meters now separating HTV-X and the station. Everything looking very good. HTV-X's systems rock solid. HTV-X and the International Space Station flying just off the coast of Peru. and a good view from the end effector camera on the Canadarm2 as you're looking right down the barrel of the grapple fixture that the Canadarm2 will affix itself to here a short time from now. The journey of HTV-X that began 3.5 days ago with its launch atop JAXA's H3 rocket from the Tanegashima Space Center in southern Japan about to conclude. Now just 12 meters separating HTV-X from the grapple fixture on the International Space Station's Canadarm2.
Station Houston on 2 for HTV-X. Confirm capture point hold for step 8 in 1.102.
Houston Station, for step 8 of 1.102, we can confirm CP hold.
Houston copies.
This is Mission Control Houston. Aki Hoshide confirming with Zena Cardman that HTV-X has reached one final hold point at the 10-meter mark. Now polling the flight controllers for a go, no-go to resume the operations that will involve Kimiya Yui extending the Canadarm2 from this 10-meter mark to the grapple fixture on HTV-X to complete this rendezvous. HTV-X is about to be placed into what is called free drift, inhibiting any further thruster firings so as not to perturbate the operation of the Canadarm2 robotic arm as it moves in to grapple the vehicle.
Station Houston 2 for HTV-X. PVGF set is enabled. Prepare for capture per step 9 in 1.102.
Okay, we see PVGF SEP is enabled, and we are working step 9 of 1.102.
Houston copies.
Houston Station, per step 9, we can confirm command panel LED configuration is good, and our capture preparations are confirmed. We are ready for HTV-X capture with a preference to wait until the other side of this S-band handover.
Copy. And Houston copies, stand by for capture.
The S-band handover referred to by Zena Cardman is a brief gap in communications voice-wise. We do have solid downlink television capability. So we're just a couple of minutes away from Kimiya Yui beginning the work to extend the Canadarm2 robotic arm for its capture of the Japanese cargo ship that is completing its maiden voyage to the International Space Station. HTV-X and the station currently flying over Argentina from northwest to southeast in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator, about to emerge off the east coast of South America over the South Atlantic.
And Station Houston on 2 for HTV-X Xena. So that big gap in Optimus, we think that's conservative. It's going to be more like a 4-minute continuation and then a 20-second handover after that.
Okay, copy. That is great information. We can, with your go, start working step 4 of 1.110.
Okay, copy that. Stand by. We're doing the final pull on the ground.
We copy all.
Station Houston on 2 for HTV-X. You are go for HTV-X capture sequence. Perform step 4 in robotics procedure 1.110. Begin monitoring the backaway cue card.
Station copies. We are go for the capture sequence. We will start with step 4 of
And we're in that brief handover in S-band communications. But the approval has been given for Kimiya Yui to begin the work with the Canadarm2 robotic arm to extend it slowly and methodically toward the grapple fixture on the vehicle. And the International Space Station now in free drift. Thrusters disabled. Standing by for arm motion.
Houston Station on 2 for your awareness. We are doing translational alignment and then beginning our approach.
Copy, we're watching.
And the robotics officer reports the arm is now in motion. Four and a half meters. Good view from the end effector camera. Both vehicles are in free drift. Two and a half meters. One meter away, standing by for capture. We have initial capture. This is soft capture. Waiting for snares to close and carriage retract. Things continuing to look good. And we have capture confirmed. Capture confirmed at 10:58 a.m. Central Time, 11:58 a.m. Eastern Time. We have a good handshake between the Canadarm2 and HTV-X. Its arrival at the International Space Station now complete. Capture again confirmed at 10:58 a.m.